Well, hi, my name is Martin, and you're probably wondering why I have my bike here with me. Well, this bike is very important to me, and I'm going to tell you why it's going to be important to you. Well, first off, I'm from Taiwan, where Giant, the biggest bike company in the world, is located in, and we have some of the best bike sharing programs in the world for the public to use. So it's one of the most popular ways to travel in Taiwan. And I want to bring that to Vietnam as well. Now, who here owns a bike? Who here actually uses their bike? Who here prefers motorbikes, cars over biking? Well, I'm going to change that opinion of yours. And I'm going to tell you why it's better to commute with a bike than it is on a motorbike or a car. Some of the benefits of biking, first off, is a better lifestyle. You improve a bigger health. As with my dad, he has a few heart problems, but when we were at our old house, he would bike every Saturday around our compound in District 2. And it was one of his ways to lose weight, and it was one of the ways he would do some exercise because he couldn't do anything strenuous, such as playing tennis or stuff like that. So he had biking and he had golfing. I also experienced some of these improvements, such as in volleyball and basketball. I rode every day since grade 9 to school. And I experienced greater leg strength. I was able to jump higher than usual. I experienced more endurance in my leg, and that was how we won the tournament this year. I can see Mr. Bendix laughing. Well, moving on, we also experienced better traffic. This is Vietnam's at its rush hour. Cars, motorbikes piling up at times we want to come home just to see our kids or families, but we're more worried about getting home at this time, and at this time we just can't do much. All we had to do is just sit there, wait around, waiting for the cars to move around. But with a bike, it's much safer, it's much faster, and we can get through it. But not a lot of people bike. Why? If there was any pileup, you can easily pick up your bike just like I did just now, except for the bit of struggle. You can easily move around, go on the sideway, and then after going through the traffic, you're over it, and then you can continue pedaling. So it's a great way to improve rush hour. Now onto a bigger problem, global warming. Cars and motorbikes, especially private ones, produce 61% of our carbon emission. And that's actually a very big number. And Earth is limited. We only have one Earth. There is no Mars that we can live in. There is no Earth 2. We have this one Earth. So why aren't we protecting it at all? And listen, you guys aren't going to live forever, but your kids, your future generations, will need a place to live. And if you start making this world a better place, then it's for them that they can have a better place, not just for you. Now, this is my view every morning. A very quiet road. I found this shortcut a couple of months ago where there is no cars. There are a few motorbikes because it's a residential area, but it leads to the parking lot with ease. And I don't have to worry about any sound. I don't have to worry about any cars piling up. I can just get to school super fast. It takes me 5 minutes to get to school now. Usually, after I moved house, it took me 15. But after I found this empty road, it took me 5. We have 2 residential bikers before I move on, Mr. Bill and Mr. John. Mr. Bill here has been riding since this year. And before that, it took him 22 minutes to get from his house to school on a motorbike. But it took him 18 minutes on a bicycle. So, as you can see, it's not that hard to bike around or get to school with your bike, because it's super fast. And if you really put in the effort, it becomes easy. And Mr. John here, who's even more impressive, he's been biking for 10 years. He hasn't spent money on gas at all, and he gets to school faster than anybody in our faculty. He gets here at 6:30, and school doesn't start until 8. So as you can see, it's very impressive what he's been doing. And he hasn't spent money on gas. And gas is one of the leading causes of carbon emission. It uses coal, it uses fossil fuel, and we're running out on those resources. So, kudos to Mr. John. Now, how do you get started? getting the bike that's for you. You don't need an expensive road bike. You don't need an expensive mountain bike to start biking. If your main goal is just getting from A to B, you're getting a fixie or a mommy bike. A fixie is super inexpensive. It costs around 500 to 2 million VND. And if you can get used, you can get even cheaper. And if they ever break on you, you can either just get a new chain or just get a new bike. It's not a big investment. But if you're an enthusiast like Mr. John, who's been riding for a longer time, then maybe investing in a road bike. The thing is, these things cost a lot. But if you put in the right money and the right care, these things can last you for a lifetime. His bike, 15 years, it has been with him. It's almost as old as I am. And thing is, he brought this from Thailand. He didn't bought it here. He brought it from Thailand with him just to ride around Vietnam. And I see him riding faster than anybody. He outranked Mr. Bill on the Saigon Bridge. And look at him. He's smaller than Mr. Bill. Mr. Bill's this big, 6 feet dude. But Mr. John's a 5'4", 5'5" guy who, see you, Mr. Bill. All right, now, for those of you who want a workout through biking or riding in a long trail, then don't do it alone. Ride with a group. Find some friends who like biking with you and make it an enjoyable event. You don't have to ride alone, listen to music on your ride. Play with your friends. It's a great opportunity for you to socialize, and it's a great way you guys can improve with each other. You are there to be each other's support and inspiration. Now, if you don't have friends who like to bike, then joining a bike club, or asking your local shop if they have weekly rides. The one here in District 2 called the Bike Shop has one. Every Sunday from 6 all the way to 12, where they ride from here all the way to the suburbs, and then returning back. And that's a great 6-hour workout you will do without even thinking about, because you're forcing yourself to do these extra workouts. And in the long run, it will pay off. Now, before I end off, think of Vietnam right now. It's very chaotic, especially during rush hour. The air quality is not the best, and it's not the best place to live with or breathe. And if you can think from 30 years before where you had to bike, where it was your only option to go to school, to work, to the market, to buy stuff, wasn't it such a more peaceful time, even though it was your only option? Cars weren't piling up, motorbikes were for the riches, biking was your only option, or even walking. It was much better time. But 5 years from now, imagine everybody started biking again, just for the sake of it. Imagine how peaceful we can be again. Imagine how we can be a much better place, how much more serene it is for your kids, for you to bike, or just go to work. Well, thank you very much. That's all.